Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is November 14th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You got British Columbia, Washington, Oregon to the upper right. Check out the cold air aloft still around. Could trigger a couple thunderstorms as we go through the day today, but overall the shower activity should be coming to an end as we go through tonight. But our eyes turn back across the Pacific Ocean. Strong jet stream, as you can see here on the infrared satellite imagery, ushering in a very cold air mass as we go through this weekend. We're going to drop these snow levels. We could even see a little bit of snowfall across some of the higher terrain, and I know some of that's been showing up in y'all's smartphone apps. I get a lot of comments about that. We'll take a look at why that is, and we'll go over all that in some detail as we go through the video here this morning. Taking a look at the lightning flash density here. We do have that chance for a couple thunderstorms today. Nothing too crazy though. And you can kind of see here we are about noon today. You can't roll out a thunderstorm or two out here, but again, nothing too crazy. And we get a little bit of a break here as we go through Friday and Saturday. But as we go back in through Sunday, once we get into the afternoon hours, we may start to bring some of that thunderstorm potential back into the region. More on that here in upcoming days. This is for today. A Storm Prediction Center in good agreement here with some of Western Washington, Western Oregon, and Northern California in that thunderstorm threat. And channel's doing great. Look at that. We're up over 74,500 subscribers. I continue to wonder when we're going to hit 100,000. Maybe it'll be this year, maybe not. But it seems to kind of be inevitable at this point. And much thanks to everybody out there. This channel is not possible without you guys. And if you want to help monetarily support the channel, click on that join button there down below the video. Now, taking a look at the high resolution model, let's go out to where we are right about now, right about here. And then you can see the shower activity moving through on the day to day. So you're still going to get some rain, especially across some of Western Oregon, Southern Washington, Eastern Oregon, getting some precipitation as well, some snow for the higher terrain. But that'll be coming to an end as we go through Friday. A little bit of a break here. Then we go through Saturday morning. You see the next precipitation. The shield is arriving as we go on in through the morning on Saturday and swooping over the region as we go on in through the late morning and the afternoon hours here. So that'll be our next system. Pretty strong frontal system at that. More on that here in a moment. So this is where we are right now. You can see this slug of precipitation moving across southwest Washington. Some of the Washington coast still getting that precipitation. And again, you can see the cold air behind us. So you cannot rule out a thunderstorm today. And another thing we got going on here is the king tides are going to be peaking, especially Friday and Saturday. But today the tides are going to be quite high as well. Go over some of those hazards here in a moment. They're going to remain elevated really all the way through about the 20th coming up. And we do have some elevated wave action on the coastal areas. You see it getting a little bit of a bump here this morning for some of Vancouver Island, Washington, and the Oregon coastline here. That correlates kind of with high tide there. So be careful. Don't turn your back on the ocean. I was out there yesterday, got some cool wave footage there on ocean shore. Pretty fun day. Saw some big waves, got swamped by a big wave, literally had water in my shoes, totally soaked to the bone. So all part of the experience. As we go through Friday, you notice the wave action kind of on the decline there. So that's a good thing because the tides are definitely getting higher Friday and Saturday. And I updated that to kind of see what was going to go on after that. You can see Saturday really getting a bit of a break here on the 16th. So that really helps out with the king tides around. But then we start to get a bump here on the 17th and the 18th. So we'll see how that goes. We'll check that out again tomorrow. But the king tides, the sun, the moon are lining up, providing that extra little gravitational pull on the earth, which gives that tidal bulge. And that is what is known as the king tides. Now, it's not just the coastal areas, but the Puget Sound. We're going to have these high tides. We got the coastal flood advisory for some of the Seattle Metro, Tacoma, Olympia, some Kitsap Peninsula out there as well. So heads up for that. Abnormally high tides with a little bit of wind out there. Could be washing things over some of the parking lots and whatnot. Some of the low-lying areas might be dealing with that. If we take a look at Spokane, Washington, I did want to point this out also. Some dense fog is possible Friday and Saturday before the arrival of that next system. So, yeah, watch out for those low visibilities. Don't stop, but do slow down a little bit and try to leave some space between you and the next car. Now, taking a look at 500 millibar temperatures, this is the storm system we're dealing with right now. Let me update that because this one is hot off the presses. I want to make sure I'm showing you guys the most recent information. There goes our system swinging through here. Then we get a little bit of a break there. See the warmer air aloft arriving. Doesn't last long. Look at this sharp polar lobe just taking a swing here at the Pacific Northwest. Really going to drop our snow levels as we go through next week. And then you notice if we scroll far enough out, you can see some of this cold air spilling out across Pacific Ocean. It's going to change the pattern up a little bit. More on that here in a moment. Now, this is where we are today. Let me update this and see if we have the 12Z data running. There we go. All right. So you can see the shower activity coming to a wane as we go on in through tomorrow morning. And then we look for this next storm system here approaching the Pacific Northwest. Western BC, of course, is going to be first. Vancouver Island as we go through late Friday night and Saturday morning. Then this starts to swoop over the area as we go through the day Saturday. Precipitation just very persistent all the way on in through Sunday morning. You can see some of the rain shadowing effect here east of the mountains. But yeah, another strong frontal system. Lots of cold air aloft, lots of cold air behind it. We're going to have thunderstorm potential, mountain snow, some lower elevation snows. It's easily going to include places like Snoqualmie Pass as well. So Snoqualmie Pass not going to escape the snowfall accumulating here this round, unlike the last few. Now, taking a look at 24-hour total snow Kuchera ratio. Kuchera ratio just means that the models are taking into account some of the temperature in the lower portion of the atmosphere. It tries to give you a better liquid to snow ratio. So as we scroll on in through Sunday, you can see Snoqualmie Pass starting to get some of that precip in. We're not getting far enough out here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the 06Z data, and we're going to scroll through that. And you can see as we go on in through, look at that Monday morning, you're talking about over half a foot of snow there, maybe for I-90. So the plows are no doubt going to be out and about. White Pass, Stevens Pass, some of the passes here across the Cascades, Oregon, Blue Mountains. Yeah, we've got some snowfall incoming. And this is why you're starting to see some of that snow. I'm backing up here. This is Sunday, but look as we go on in through Monday morning, some of these little spotty snow showers showing up in some of the lower elevations there. I don't expect accumulations down in the metro areas, especially on cement or anything like that. It's just too warm still, and the ground is still plenty warm. But you may, especially on some of the higher hills, see some of those flakes flying, and that will definitely get people's attention, no doubt. So taking a look at that Snohomish County, Painfield, you can see the ensembles and even the controls trying to say, hey, we're going to get an inch of snow at Everett. It's just not going to happen on the cement areas or anything like that. At best, you'd see some snow flying, some mixed rain and snow or whatnot during this time frame. And again, once you get a little elevation, you could start to see some of that stuff sticking on, some of the grasses and roofs and things like that once you get some elevation. We'll revisit this here again tomorrow. We'll take a look at the high resolution models just to see that we're not missing anything, because it is a very cold air mass aloft. Spokane, you can see it starts to show this as well. Maybe a little bit better chance for some sticking snow because the elevations are higher there. In eastern Washington, the control run shows about an inch. You can see Vancouver International Airport, kind of this mixed bag in the ensemble members. Same thing with Portland. Look at the control run. It actually tries to show it's going to get over 4 inches. But again, ground is way too warm for that. And this is no doubt just some kind of feature here that just happened to set up over the Portland International Airport. We're not expecting sticking snowfall into the lower elevations with this event. So you can kind of ignore that on your smartphone apps, at least of the accumulating variety. Snoqualmie Pass, different story. About 3,000 feet, you can see the ensembles are in good agreement for the snowfall. Really starting to roll in here as we go through the day Sunday, potentially. Sunday, very early morning. You're starting to pile up that snow here. So watch out if you're crossing I-90 or Highway 2 or White Pass, Highway 12. And this is White Pass. You can see the better snowfall amounts, 4,500 feet in elevation. At 1,500 feet makes a big difference here, especially early in the season. Now, looking at daily 2-meter min temperature, look at some of these overnight lows, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. There's Tuesday. Look at this. Some lower 30s are showing up there. Don't expect this again during the time of the snow falling here, but we're going to be dropping it off. You're going to be feeling this in the morning when you're walking the dog, no doubt. Eastern Washington next Thursday. Look at that. Some pretty chilly air moving in behind that system there. 6 to 10 day below normal. Some of the Pacific Northwest here. Not much to take from this. And some below normal here, as again, that big trough digs out over the Pacific Ocean. There's some uncertainty on how that is going to evolve in our extended forecast here. So they kind of have this below normal signal. November's pretty wet here anyway, so you still have the near normal along the immediate coastline. But anyway, yeah, next storm system up. Here we go. We're going to be watching this closely. Tomorrow we'll go into it in some more detail. Take a look to see what kind of snow and what kind of snow levels we'll be looking at. I don't want to get into snow level details just yet, but tomorrow morning we'll start to take a look at what kind of snow levels we are looking at. It's no doubt going to get below Snoqualmie Pass, but how far below that will it get? Will it get down towards 1,000 feet? Are you going to see snowflakes, across Tiger Mountain out there and some of the higher hills? We'll go ahead and visit that in a bit more detail here tomorrow. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We will do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.